This is to my lawyer, dear lawyer Chad Levin. I really don't know what kind of service you're providing. Turning up on internet pages seem to be a slick criminal defense attorney. That's at least experience in a trade. Admittedly, even though I doubted your quality early on, I try to have faith in you and your ability to absolve my case. But every time I believed in you, I'm only left feeling deceived and cheated. Yeah, it's a bad feeling. Some of the things you have been doing had just become incredibly annoying. Like how you had to climb to set up appointment with the head prosecutor to talk about my case about 7 times in the last year. But a meeting had yet to occur. Yet, you're still saying it at every courtroom meeting. Am I supposed to believe in you now? Someone who isn't me really wants to punch you in the face the next time you want to say someone who isn't me. Okay, not I, obviously. That would be criminal to say that. But since it's somebody who isn't me said that, it's cool. At this point, you just remind me of the shepherd from the classic Chinese children's story who was so bored in his village that he decided to shout, "Wolves are coming!" So the farmer went up the mountain to help. They're just innocent farmers that like to help out, and there was no wolf. The shepherds had done it yet again on the second day, and the farmers had went up the mountain to help again, and there was no wolf again. Like, yeah, he's lying. Yeah. So on the third day, when the wolves really came and the shepherd cried for help, nobody came. The villagers had become maddened and frustrated, and they did not believe in the shepherd. As a result, the shepherd was killed and eaten by the wolves. This is a story I read as a child, meant to teach children about honesty and karma. Honesty and karma aside, you share a stark similarity with the shepherd in the story in that you had repeatedly told lies to waste my time and energy on a valueless pursuit. I think I must be stupid to still believe in you after so many times. Somebody that's not under constant mental pressure would have probably stopped believing in you 6 months ago. But you, but but you have your way with words, and your loud, reassuring voice, and it's really effective at reassuring me with some slim hope that something might indeed happen. Something might happen. Wah! But not, even though in fact nothing had been done since you were hired. Like how am I, so am I gonna convince myself that you're gonna do something? I can't. It's like it's made my cry. I felt cheated. At first, I thought I was your client and you were to assist me through my case with the confidentiality and as little hustle as possible. Since that's what lawyers are paid to do according to the professional ethic code. And I had a fairly reasonable respect for the profession. It was even a profession I for a while considered. Before, of course, before I landed myself with a criminal record and then became ineligible, become a lawyer for the rest of my life. Yeah. But at this point, I highly doubt I'm being helped in any way. Instead, my mental state suffered a toll from your continual inability to absolve the case after almost 2 years. 2 long years. You can get an associate degree in 2 years. I just spent 2 years going to court. I have demanded nothing but a quick resolution since a couple months ago, when I realized that years long of going to court was taking a mental toll on my state of being. that the foreshadowing uncertainty projected by the members of the court, the fierce mental pressure put on me to surrender, to give up, and to accept the deal had instilled so much pressure and paranoia into me that it impacted my daily functioning. I, I couldn't even talk. All I can do is, oh, my friend, my only friend is my computer. I don't even know if it's my friend anymore. I don't think my computer likes me. All these tactics employed by the court to force pre-trial resolutions in any way possible had been the most demeaning and despicable aspect in this case. It's despicable, despicable. It's my mental state took a toll several months into the case. You declared a doubt in my competency, so that I had to go through months of doctor's appointment, which of course relieved my mental state for a while, frankly, since I no longer had to attend court for this month and found a little bit of solace in whatever I was doing. Not to had the chance to start life for a little bit. Yet as I began going to court again, and after several months of getting nothing done and feeling cheated, my mental state had again appeared to have deteriorated. That's one strike retarded again, no? So you've declared doubt in my incompetency again, so that my mental state again found some solace. Again, it's like a break. It's almost like a break. Like going to court is like my job, and seeing the doctors having incompetence is like a break. I, None of the doctors had thought me incompetent, because I clearly remember understand the textbook definition of the various functions of each role in court. You know, from watching laws and order, better than probably most people do, because I had taken a profound interest in the governments and law in my high school years. So I really wanted to be a lawyer, like a while ago, study philosophy, which is totally, totally useless, but then I can use that to get a law. Then I can slam the book on you with my law degree. Simply having another doctor to look at me again, asking me the same set of textbook questions regarding the various roles of the people in court would probably not trigger me into saying something different. Unless of course, if I become paranoid, delusional again as a result of my deteriorating mental state. Something's gonna happen. Something bad's gonna happen. What's gonna be? What's gonna be? What's gonna be? Is it gonna be jail? I'm gonna get hit by a car. What's it gonna be? I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I'm dying. Okay, that was a false alarm. Wasn't a real panic attack. But the real ones happen though. They're worse. Much, much worse. You know, this. eh, Okay, what was on? You know, at some point, I think I may just become inclined to give the wrong answer intentionally. I would say like the lawyer is like the one who fucks the judge's daughter. Judge is like one who is like I could probably say something like that, and then you know because that's the alternative. Because he kept testing me, then maybe saying the wrong answer would be the right thing. That's what the paranoid people would think, because I'll be intentionally giving the wrong answers. Because I'll be thinking giving the right answer was a terrible decision, because honestly, then would it be a bad thing? Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. Ah. Anyway, this court process is a way of slowly killing me both inside and outside by my own decisions. Yeah, like it's killing me right now. I'm choosing to watch this. It's killing me. It so seems to me that whatever choice I'm triggered or persuaded in choosing, the macroscopic result is not much different. Getting really deep here, huh? And I almost always end up in a deteriorated mental state that's lesser capable of deterministic and constructive thinking. I have been Geinstock before, and this feeling, strangely resembles the fear and the paranoia I feel from having this people, sometimes groups of people following me and watching what I do. What the heck are you doing? I walked up to them, then they start walking away from me. Then again, the mental health system disapproves of victims of gang stalking and classified as sort of paranoia and mental illness. The same duality seems to exist in the court system. If I was to say, I feel like I'm the victim of the court affair, which I really do feel like that most of the time. A doubt by my competency may be yet placed again, or let's call it the incompetency card. If you imagine this courtroom like a card game, it's just a card, incompetency card. I'll probably make a game after this video. It's a court game. As a judge, you can play judge, lawyer, defendants. It's a good game. It's coming out December 23rd. I'm making it. Okay, that is coming out. Okay. At this point, you know, at this point, I'm simply annoyed at the feelings of entrapment you and the other members of the court had inflicted on me, which makes me feel like a Yossarian in Catch 22, trying to get out the combat mission, only finding the combat mission number rising every time I reach it. Yeah, like you're supposed to fly 20 combat mission, right? But once you fly 19 combat mission, they rise the number up to 25. Now you fly 24 combat mission, right? Now it's rise up to 30. That goes all the way up to 60, 70, 80. You probably die before you get out combat mission. That's Catch 22. What's the difference between going to court, you keep pushing back the court date yet again and again? There are no continuances. You may not have to come to the next court date, but I will later tell you that you have to come. But I'm now telling you you don't have to come. So you accept this right now. So save me some time, okay? Accept this. Then I'm gonna have two more continuances. Next time I'm gonna tell you you have two more continuances, and then two more. Then you will never end. It's catch 22. Okay. Well, but, this is slightly different than Catch 22. It's actually quite different, because Catch 22 had quite a bit of wit, love, war, and comedy in it, which is like way more interesting than a bunch of people sitting in a court talking about the same thing and over again, the same recycling over again. Like, if you make this court thing into a book, it's gonna be holy shit! The worst book ever. If Catch 22 had been about a solo soldier, though, it would have been a very different book, because the solo soldier without commotion may never get out the combat mission and probably die in combat. The pain I get from this form of torture had made me want to give up. I had simply thought that prison would have been a faster alternative to the torturous process for the court. Yet I dissuaded myself from entering the great trade school of American person. It's the best trade school, largest trade school in America. Because 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 to me, giving up is to simply succumb to the cold psychological tactics, and to give up on a case that I felt not guilty on my full conscience is also a betrayal to my own conscience. To some, it would mean cowardice. I have some firm, fundamental beliefs in American justice system and human rights. And I believe true justice would point to my innocence. I could no longer stand the forced conversions of righteous citizens to convicted criminals under this crazy system of, the prosecutor prison pipeline. I hope you're familiar with that, huh? Nevertheless, today I don't know what justice is. Justice had been a simpler idea when I was in school, but now it seems to me a much more convoluted notion involving various layerings of confusions. It's almost as confusing as Confucius, which is really confusing because he believed in a lot of contradictory Confucius stuffs. I had simply seen too many crimes committed, some of them towards me, and not a single recourse of justice was brought to balance. Yeah, I'm not like the guy who stole my speaker. He got a free pass. Like, just nothing ever happens to the dude. And in fact, I had been falsely accused and arrested at one point. At one point, probably multiple points, probably all false accusations. It's all false accusations. Everything's false. Well, I had been, uh, I had been simply, I had been, what, I had simply, in fact, I had been falsely accused and arrested at one point, apparently for trying to retrieve my belongings from my apartment. There were some insidious tenants who would later blackmail Payne, who is my mother, to either give back his rent or to continue pursue his false allegations in court and stir up other matters. Well, he learned to use the court quicker than me. I had also witnessed one time that a girl was stricken by her boyfriend, then stricken again with a skateboard. That's gotta hurt, huh? Which kind of made me just want to slap the guy in the face. But of course, I couldn't do it because you know what follows after you slap guy in the face is that I got arrested. But that enraged the public too. It made everybody mad. You're hitting on a girl. So they told somebody else was telling the guy to leave, leave her alone. And the police came because there was a commotion going on. Everybody was like, "Should we do something? Should we just beat this guy up?" No, we're just standing around. Nobody wants to get in trouble. Come on, it's Los Angeles. The plea has come nonchalantly, and despite the presence of eyewitness and cameras, failed to even ask the perpetrator or any eyewitness any significant questions, to even ask for his name. Less the standard procedure to arrest on sight, as I have seen from my past dealings with the police, from seeing many police contacts, to be honest. When the police tried to grab his hand, all he had to do was to scream, "I'm from East Side." Every time the police tried to grab him, squeeze back, squeeze. He got some moves. And then they just really gave up on touching the guy. Literally, just like, let me arrest you real quick. Then slowly moves on. Then this guy just stretches away. Then he just pulls back like he's scared. Why? That's wow. So even the gang of police didn't do anything other than letting him on the next red train westbound toward North Hollywood. In fact, I've been so brooded over this apparent contrast between my observations, my experience, and my convictions regarding American societies that I had to spend a week writing a book reminiscing and consolidating my volatile and complex set of feelings and longings from my memory. As I kept writing and searching back into my memories, the most memorable of which being the court that had apparently dumped an astronomical amount of data into my brain to affect my ways of thinking. So that as I kept writing the book, going from scene to scene in Los Angeles, I kept cycling back to some memorable, particularly degrading experience in the criminal justice system, which always led me to search for my traumatic memories of past. Nightmares! Real nightmares! Like getting beaten by a ghost! Raped! Kind of nightmare! And this is de facto. Over the years, my brain had associated with the matters of the court to the penal system. So I think of my time in incarceration whenever I'm nearing a court date. So then my mind began to be filled with all the lies and abuse perpetrated by the inmates and guards about my experience of being sexually abused in jail and unable to do much of anything about the situation. Seeing complete negligence and possibly corroborations from the guards. Then, eventually, about the one time, I don't know how long I was raped for. It felt like an eternity. And the pain was inflicted with had distorted my sense of time and perception so much as I repetitively passed out and woke up only to find the rape still continues and pass out again from the pain, whatever it was. I must have passed out and woken up 100 times at least at some point. I entered into a coma and a near-death experience. I I swear I died. I went up to space. I traveled through the galaxy. Like I died. I swear. Afterwards, I wanted to have nothing to do with the road but to scream and kill myself. Quite a natural response, in my opinion. No? Like, well, it's fucked and nothing can do. Like, just kill yourself. Huh? I wanted to have nothing to do with this road but to scream and kill myself. But, yeah, but I still got kicked out. In addition to that, I got kicked out of college. A college I like so much. I love so much. I loved the college. From that point, my demise had begun, as I can never be the person I once was before I was raped. There was a period of my life when I considered myself relatively normal. when I found a way to diverge my attention from this traumatic past toward people such as my ex-girlfriend and endeavors such as music and hosting guests. Then, of course, when I came across another stressful experience and lost my job and my girlfriend, I began fathoming my traumas again and entered a state of paranoia. And then, and then I entered the state of California correctional facility. And then, I hope this is convincing to you. It's as convincing to me as the life I'm experiencing. That going to court is serves the sole purpose of inflicting mental suffering. What its intended purpose is for, I can no longer fathom. What it does to anybody else, I cannot fathom either. I can only speak for my own experience, which, oh, it sucks! I don't know what Rick Perry had paid you to do. The fact is, when I think of Rick Perry now, I think of the fact that he had turned off my phone days before I went to jail. I think of the fact that he had gotten me into jail. So Rick Perry had also recently kicked him out of his house again, which eventually resulted in I having a broken leg and becoming unable to run for the rest of my life. That's 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 real satisfaction to some people. Some people cry and kill themselves over that. You know, it's real shit. I offer myself a much simpler answer to this. It's all about money. You're paid by Rick Perry, and also, you know, you're paid by somebody else. I offer myself a much simpler answer to this. You're paid by somebody else, somebody that's my terrifying enemy about half of the time. The other of the half of the time he's probably just pretending to be nice, so he can be it comes unexpected that he's my enemy. Oh, perhaps this is the more plausible explanation. As opposed to all my thinkings, my free thinkings, they are not anywhere on this world. They are not. They are out of space. Maybe it works on another planet, like on Mars or somewhere, but my thinkings are irrelevant to this world that we live in. Oh, since it's the only explanation involving money, with your steep fees and contract terms, I'm having a much easier time inferring that you're a man with money rather than a man of integrity, of righteousness. Because righteousness, integrity, what's more important to a man than righteousness and integrity? Money! I hope you understand that we simply cannot work together on this case when I do not trust you. When I began doubting your honesty and professional ethics after you called the wolves are coming. The seventh time. When someone think you're just a man for money without any respectable regard for even the mental well-being of your clients. Actually, I bet Rick is feeling great. I remember a public defender who had helped me solve my first case rather quickly, who seen that I was homeless and jobless at the time, had advised me to go back to St. Louis and get a job there. I I took it as a kind advice at the time, but in retrospect, it was indeed a warning. I would not have been predestinated for travesty such as jail and court had I taken on her warning, her kind warning. I had really wanted to go to school on the coast of California at the time because I really loved sunshine, ocean waves, and being a student. Even though I had been lastly rejected by every single one of the UC. Well, since they accepted you, I can sort of see that I'm probably not a good fit to them. Since you can see we're so different. But the actual reasons I choose to stay in Los Angeles only because of my girlfriend, who had shown certain influx of affection. And in one phone call made me speechless when she said yes as quickly as I asked if she'd marry me. Wow, like I say yes, but should I marry you? No, I didn't think you're gonna it's testing you, but okay. Shocked, shocked, man. And what does man? Okay, the little love we had then seemed to have infinite shade and colors, eluding infinite possibilities. And I was destined and predisposed to fall for her. It could have been love story of a lifetime, huh? But of course it ended with my incarceration, just like how it started. Well, she had warned me. She had warned me, huh? That if I ever go to jail again, she was gonna break up with me. I did not take that too hard, huh? Well, that love was pretty dumb. But I still miss it being young, dumb, and in the company of a lovebird who was one of the only periods of solace I have found ever since I moved to the state of California. California had been mostly a place that deteriorated over me to the base, and it made me question things such as my identity. Who am I? What's my name? And relieve saddened memories and ponder suicide I walk along the darkened caves and street at night. Although I have no doubt it could be a paradise to people like you, because I do see a stark contrast between between I and Californians and the the and between I and everybody else. That it seems I could never fit in this darn place, especially after I had been essentially excluded from society through incarceration. Call that institutionalized. I'd always been excluded. At the beginning, I was excluded simply by language because I hardly understand what Americans were saying for the first few years of my life in America. I still don't feel like I know exactly what you're saying or what the judge is saying. Even though I'm competent to be an interpreter for the language, my job, I cannot grasp but the exact connotation of you or the judge's words. It's unlike the connotations of the English I know. It's a legal language that's been designed and filled with intricate interconnections and entrapments. It's like one point leads to dead, and you know how law works. If you analyze the law, it keep joy like a giant interconnected web. It's like how people analyze the Bible. The law is very similar to the Bible. It's literally a if you look at it, it's a computer program. It's a draw out every sentence and reference in the book and link them to each other. It's a program. Like it's literally it's to be analytical. It's crazy. But the legal language that evolved on its own as it's whispered through conversations happening in court and the meaning of the world shifted. as far as I know, the word, like the word going to court, it just could mean getting raped. Because to be honest, they rarely pretty much evoke the same brain pattern in my brain of paranoia and fear of like I'm getting raped. I had a slice of good time in California, but it was short-lived and quickly stricken down by the sword of justice. The criminal justice system already striking down some of my more ambitious aspirations, or in one case, coincidentally arrested me as I was in the process of launching a business. It has changed me over time that I no longer aspire for great accomplishment that brings superficial fame and a luxurious lifestyle. That I simply wish to find solace in my soul and forget about what happened in California. It's all bullshit. In a way, I felt as if California had robbed me of not just my car, but also my lifestyle, all my values, and of my old self. It's not given me any new values and viable lifestyles. Perhaps the sole place I can find my solace is in China, my hometown where I can perhaps visit my grandparents' graves and find a bit of my old self. And it is my destination of this affair, so where else am I going to go? New York? They probably do the same thing in New York. It would take just years of speaking another language and being in another culture to rewire my brain to the state that it's not quite as useless as its current state. There's a, there's a clear, I want to point out this, there's a clear contrast between my belief in American justice and the reality One Night Coolhouse is projecting or portraying, because I cannot even fathom myself being charged in the American justice system I once firmly believed in. It's like I simply find this incredible. I'm charged with this kind of crime. Like, crime! Crime! Like, I get charged with a crime! So, it seems to me that either one is unlike America, or I had completely disillusioned myself with an idiosyncratic ignorance of the American justice system and the whole standard of American society. Well, perhaps it's just much simpler. In a world of the fellow inmate I chatted with in One Eyes, he said. Once mentioned One Eyes, he said, One Eyes? They give no love out there! That's a quite put aside for memory. Excuse me for the digression. I'm sending this to ask you to return the money on behalf of Rick Perry, who wants the money back. He keeps telling me that he wants the money back, and because he sees that you're not doing anything to help me, so he wants the money back, and he wants the money back. And I sincerely wish you can give the money back to Rick Perry and Payne, respectively, as a matter of professional courtesy. For me, it seems that you had provided no service other than to continue the case, which is adamantly similar to what a free public defender can do. $20,000 might seem hardly anything to you, but it's a lot of money to me. Like, and even more money, and suffice for at least of a couple years of comfort in an incarcerated facility. Can you imagine what you could do with $20,000 in a in a prison? You could be the king. You could be having guards bringing you weeds. Like that's that's heaven. You could be computers, PlayStations, phones. It's pretty much just kind of gay. And other than that, it's just it's like heaven. Just kidding. Don't go to prison. Well, I hope I won't get incarcerated. But if I ever do, $20,000 could be a suffice. I can probably get out of prison with a couple $1,000 to buy a car even. Just kidding, huh? With that amount of money, I'll probably be sent to ICE and put on a year-long waiting list for deportation. Then probably that's sad. Like, I don't have another chance to drive in America ever again. And our law's wonderful. It's great country. America's great. Make America great again. It's not great. Obviously, it's not great now because if it's great, then I should be able to drive. So they have to make it great again. Yeah, yeah. So maybe I should start trashing my town here. It seems like there's a possibility for me to be forsaken from this land, and I could never come back to this country. That's sad, isn't it? After all, this is the country whose people I love dearly, the cynics and landscape so diverse, and diversity in culture I find to be so vibrant. So it's so interesting. Yeah, it would be great if I could be free again in this country, huh? But would the law allow that? But to know that you have to watch the next episode. But would the law allow that? I don't know if you can sympathize with these thinkings, because I found only sympathizers among those that at least had some similar life experience as me. And you're very different creatures, seemingly a member of another species that had diverged in their evolution. Indeed, you are. You come on, you white and Asian, but like two kind of thing. Like yeah, like with the same ACT score you can get in Harvard, I can. Because affirmative action. We're just so different. That like the simpler words, like sadness, would evoke would would even evoke very different electromagnetic. Like even simpler words like sadness could evoke very different electromagnetic brain patterns in our respective brains. Yeah, like believe it or not, I'm saying this like maybe I'm saying sadness, you might be a triangle shape in my head, but it's probably circle in yours. So you see, our difference can be neuro linguistical. And if you never heard the word neurolinguistical, then obviously you have never encountered any Neuro-linguistical barriers. Now, you introduced me to the core problem. I'm introducing to the neuro-linguistical problem. Trust me. It's more confusing than the chord. It's more difficult to solve than my case. Oh, if you never had a misunderstanding with people and recognize neuro-linguistic problem, I really doubt you understand the full extent of what the fuck am I saying? Of course, you probably even reading the contract that was never able to read in your precise legal language that the money is non-refundable. Because they probably expected situations such as this, me asking for money back. Well, in that case, there's really nothing I could do. You're slick. However, I cannot help but to feel indignant from being lied to. I repetitively and assumed to be stupid. And I consider this form of lying especially vicious, since you're lying to a person who you know has suffered mental deterioration and is very vulnerable and is susceptible to simple psychological techniques like, like especially when stressed out in court. It seems to me that you had repetitively utilized my vulnerability to save yourself from doing any work at all. I don't think this is an acceptable practice of a lawyer. Especially, I don't think it's in accordance with the bar standards ethic code. Believe it or not, California bar has an ethic code. For someone who to take up a profession such as a lawyer, one must adhere to the ethic code of the profession. Just like to be a plumber, you just need to be really ethical at plumbing. What's a plumber that can unclog a drain? So so what's like a plumber that can unclog? What do you call a plumber that can unclog a drain? A bad plumber. Yeah. A good plumber is invaluable to your community, a highly respectable profession, but nobody needs a bad plumber. No way. Well, I don't need a bad lawyer either. No lawyer is better than bad lawyer. Now I'm slowly killing myself with my own choice again, making the wrong decision, and I'm about to fall.